Hey, my name is Jackson Canty, CEO and founder of Peak Insurance. And today I'm going to be explaining how Peak Insurance is partnered with the National Agents Alliance, which is an integrity owned company. All right, so I'm going to be just simply explaining how what we do works and how income is created. Now, this can be an opportunity for simply side income, making a little bit of money outside of what you do full time. It could also be turn out for you as it has for me into a full-blown, full-time career. And I'm going to kind of walk through what we do and the different ways that can work. All right, so to give you a little bit of backstory, it was about 3 years ago. I was full-time working in corporate sales. Outside of that, I was pursuing a couple other businesses on the side, trying to kind of find my way. I wanted more freedom and flexibility. I knew a 9 to 5 job would not provide. I also wanted income past what I knew the average 9 to 5 would provide. So I kept my options open. I was searching, I was hoping, I was doing everything I could do to generate that. And I had a really good friend of mine who we were in business together, and he called me up and he said, "Hey, we really should look at the insurance and financial services industry. There's a guy I know I go to church with. He's been able to build a business in the industry. He's been very successful. We should get connected." So fast forward now 3 years later, we've been able to generate incredible income, great freedom and flexibility along with that. And so it's been a dream come true, really. So I'm going to go through and explain how what we do works now. All right, so to put it simply, we market and sell life insurance and health insurance products, right? Now I'm going to focus mostly on the life insurance side of things just to keep this video brief, but there's much more that we offer to the client than what I'm going to walk through today. Again, just kind of going over the basics. Okay, so the different types of life insurance. So this is typically where we start a new agent out, okay? So this is where a new agent would start, but this will be whole life insurance. We call it final expense typically, or term life insurance, which could be used for mortgage protection, so I'll write MP, or it could also be used for income replacement if somebody passed away in the family. So why do we start new agents here? Just because it is the simplest type of life insurance. Whole life insurance lasts the client's whole life. So they pay a premium. When they pass away, the beneficiary that they choose gets to receive the benefit that they have been paying for, okay? Whereas term is going to be less expensive than whole life, but it will end at a certain point. So then they could opt to renew it at a higher price or just let the plan lapse after the term, okay? So past that, what we have is index universal life plans. We call them IULs. So these are life insurance products, but with cash accumulation benefits, okay? So typically, let's say a client is paying $200 a month. If they pass away, let's say their beneficiary would receive $200,000. Let's say $25 a month is going to the cost of the insurance. And then the $175 a month is being indexed with the S&P 500. So that's why it's called index universal life. So that money's being taken, it's being indexed, and it's being invested. So it's growing, okay? So a lot of times people will set these up in their late 20s, 30s, or 40s for to one, have a life insurance policy in case anything happens to them, but two, to let that accumulate so they can begin to take money out in their retirement years. All right. Three, we have what's called annuities. Just going to abbreviate that. So essentially what an annuity is, you can take money and roll it into an annuity. It'll be indexed and it'll grow if the market goes up. If the market goes down, it can stay the same or still grow slightly. So it's called safe money management, but you're able to take somebody's money and you're able to put it in an account that will grow or stay the same at least. And so that's always a great option to work with. Now, I'm just going to kind of focus on what we start our new agents out on. We can go in further training later on the more complicated stuff. Okay, so how are sales generated? How are clients generated? How is income produced? We'll go over that. All right, so we get these things called leads. All right, so a lead is somebody who's expressed interest in life insurance. Okay, so maybe they saw an ad on social media, maybe they got something in the mail, but they have received some form of marketing, and then they've filled it out, and submitted it back to us and saying, hey, I'd like more information. I'd like to know if I can get life insurance. All right, so we're taking these people who've responded to us. So we're not door knocking. We're not trying to blow up all our friends and family. We're not cold calling people out of a phone book or messaging people on social media. We're only calling people who've filled something out. Okay, that's not to say we're not allowed to market to our network or anything like that, but we are calling leads. Okay, so the lead comes into the agent. Typically, just by a phone call or Zoom call, the agent will call or meet with the lead. Okay. Now, we represent over 52 insurance companies. So these will be companies like Mutual of Omaha, Transamerica, Corebridge, Foresters, F&G, NLG, Americo, and a lot of other major multi-billion-dollar corporations that were able to market and sell their insurance products. Okay, so the insurance companies really like when people buy their life insurance, so they pay us, the agents, to get more people to buy the insurance, right? Okay, so we meet with the client. They've obviously filled something out. They've obviously got some level of expressed interest. So now our job is to just go through, understand what they're trying to put in place, and try to put them in the best position possible. All right, so then we fill out an online application. So we just fill out an e-app. The lead will make their first month's premium payment. We will get a commission deposited into our bank account, and they will get a policy in the mail. So that's how the sales cycles works. And we're able just to repeat that over and over and over again. All right. So how do the commissions work? Okay. So our average monthly premium that we sell an insurance product to for a client would be $83 a month. Okay. So how our commission is determined is we take that commission and multiply it times 12. So that gives us what we call annual premium. Okay? So we take that annual premium, and that's where our commission comes from. Now, I'll attach this below for you to click on and look at it in more detail. But there's what's called the agent level charts. So based on where you are on the commission level is based on the commission you'll earn. Okay? So let's just say that you were at the 75% bracket. All right? So your commission level would be 75%, and your commission would be $750. Now, we do get what's called an advance commission, because in order to receive our commission, the client's got to make 1 year worth of premiums payments. So we get advanced on months 1 through 9. This would be $562.50. Then in months 10, 11, and 12, we'll get what's called as earned, which makes our commissions about $61 a month. After this, if it's a whole life or IUL, there's typically some trails. Those are typically a couple bucks a month per policy. Sometimes the terms do not offer trails. Okay, so that's how the commission breakdown works. Now, there are two ways that you can get commission level increases. Okay, so the first way you can get the commission level increase is what's called the Super PAC. I will attach the Super PAC PDF below in this video, so you can click on that. Also, so the way you go up on the Super PAC is just you selling more insurance, making more sales. So the more sales you make, the higher your commission level goes. Okay. Now the second way you're able to move up the commission scale is through personal and team production. So not only do the life insurance companies really like it when we sell the insurance, but they also like it when we get other agents to sell the insurance. So we are paid to make sales in the form of commissions. We are also paid to build a team in the form of overrides. So the override is simply a part of a commission that was paid to the agent, and then we get over on top of that. Okay? So if you like income that's in a more residual format, we do have the opportunity to build a team of agents. So you're compensated by helping an agent make sales become successful. Okay? So how does that compensation work? So let's say this is you, and let's say you hire 5 agents. So you hire agent 1, agent 2, agent 3, agent 4, and agent 5. So you hire these 5 agents. And let's say everybody is just working part-time, and they're all selling 2 to 3 policies a week, and their average annual premium is $10,000, including you. You and all of them are selling $10,000, so 10 policies a month, right? So they're all selling 10 policies a month. So your team's revenue is at $60,000. Now your personal production is $10,000 and your team's production is $50,000. Okay. So now that you're at what's called the regional manager level, you're at the 95%. So your income from your personal sales will be $9,500. Your team, everybody is doing $10,000, so they're at the key leader level, and they're at 75%. So they're making about $7,500 a month. So you're getting the 20% difference. So you're paid 20% of 50,000, which is 10,000, making your total income $19,500 per month. You hiring 5 agents, personally producing, helping them produce as well. Now let's say that agent 1 also wants to hire 5 agents. Okay, so he does the same thing that you've done, and he's hired 5 agents. So now he's at the 95% because his team's doing 60,000. You are now at the 105% because your team has hit 110,000. And then the rest of your team is still at 75%. So these agents here are still at 75%. So, from your own personal sales, everybody doing $10,000 a month. Okay. So, from your own personal sales, 10,500. From Agent One and his team, you're getting 10% off of 60,000. Also, because he's hit the regional manager level, you get a 8% glow bonus, which is $4,800. Finally, off your Agent 2, 3, 4, and 5, this will be 40,000 in production. You're earning 30% now. So you add all of this together, and that's how your income is created. Carry the 1, like they taught me in elementary school, 17, 21, 33. So you've personally producing 10,000 a month. You've helped 10 people do the same thing. Your income is now $33,300 a month. So that is how the business opportunity works. We can go into more detail later, but that is just a brief overview synopsis of it.